What up, YouTube? T Movies here. Now, with his new film, Marriage Story, now on Netflix, and with it getting loads of award attention, and since the movie is really great because I saw it yesterday and really fantastic film, I decided to go ahead and do my top 5 favorite Noah Baumbach movies. Because he hasn't really done a whole lot, to be honest, yeah. But he's done some really good solid chunk of movies, and I think he's a great director. And I'm really glad to see Baumbach getting the recognition he deserves thanks to a Marriage Story, and he's done some other great stuff as well. So with that being said, here's my 10 favorite Noah Baumbach movies. All right, coming in at number 10, it is the film Greenberg, starring Ben Stiller as the title role of this guy named Roger Greenberg, who's this failed musician who now who also makes a living as a carpenter in New York City, and he returns to LA to like house sit for his for his anyway, he of course ends up house sitting for his anyway, sorry about that. He house sits for his brother played by Chris Messina, and he ends up he also ends up being stranded there since he also doesn't drive, but his brother's assistant Florence played by Brad Gerwig ends up coming to his rescue, and they end up forming a interesting bond with each other. I mean, Greg, this was actually the movie. I guess you could say this was the film that really brought Greg Gerwig to film, like to people's attention. She was terrific here. You also had Risa Fons, you had Zosa Mamet, Jennifer Jason Leigh. This movie also shows that Ben Stiller could do more than just straight up comedies. I mean, no Baumbach, he really worked great with Ben Stiller, and Ben Stiller and Baumbach have worked together a couple of other times. And obviously, Greg Gerwig and Baumbach are an item, so they've done a lot of movies together. But Greenberg is a really decent. It has lots of heart. It's pretty funny. It gets pretty dramatic at times. Interesting script. Definitely check out Greenberg if you guys never seen that. And crazy to believe this movie turns 10 next year, by the way. So, damn. Anyway, coming in at number 4, it is his Netflix movie, The Myra Story. The Myra Story is really great. It's about this movie also stars Ben Stiller and it also stars Adam Sandler, who plays the adult children of her hero Myra, played wonderfully by Dustin Hoffman, who ends up reuniting in New York City for preparation for their for like Harold's for Harold's career retrospective and all. And you also got Emma Thompson who plays Hoffman's third wife here. You had Elizabeth Marvel who plays the younger sister. Grace Van Patten plays Sandler's daughter, who's really Grace Van Patten's really terrific in this. You also had Judd Hirsch. This is another movie that shows how great, like, even though I love his comedies, Adam Sandler could prove he could do more than just straight up comedies, and Myra's Stories proved that. It's a really solid Netflix film. It's pretty funny. It gets really dramatic at times. Really amazing movie, and the tension between Ben Stiller and Adam Sandler was pretty cool. I mean, if you guys haven't seen the Myra Story, go check it out. It's really decent. Alright. Speaking of Ben Stiller, got a third Ben Stiller movie on this list, and that is While We're Young. Now, the film stars Ben Stiller as this middle-aged filmmaker named Josh Schrebernick, and you got Naomi Watts who plays his wife here, and they end up meeting this free spirit couple named Jamie, played by Adam Driver, and Darby, played by Amanda Seyfried. And they are of course in their and of course Driver and Seyfried are both in their 30s, and still and Watts are in their mid ages, and they want to be friends with like people younger. You know, and Ben Stiller and Adam Driver both had really good chemistry in this. I really thought they really play off each other well. Naomi Watts and Amanda Seyfried were both great in this movie. This movie was this is very comedic. It is a movie about getting older and stuff like that. I've already said Ben Stiller's great. Adam Driver, who have obviously worked with Baumbach a couple of times, he was also in Marriage Story too, and obviously he's getting lots of Oscar acclaim for Marriage Story. Driver was phenomenal in this. Definitely go check out While We're Young if you guys haven't seen it. All right, coming in at number two, it is Mistress America. Now, this film stars Lola Kirk, who plays this college freshman named Tracy, who ends up you know going to college in New York City, and she ends up being there. She ends up being taken in by her soon-to-be stepsister named Brooke, played by Greg Gerwig, who's a resident of Times Square and a adventurous gal around town and all. And I really like the chemistry between Gerwig and Kirk. Now, I kind of talked a little bit about Mistress America not so long ago when I was talking about the movies of 2015. And Mistress America is terrific. I mean, Baumbach have done a lot of movies set in New York City. I mean, Marriage Story is, of course, one of them. I think he's from New York, if I'm not mistaken. Because Robert Young is from New York. Greenberg. Lots of movies set in New York City that Baumbach has directed. But Mistress America is really terrific. I mean, great performances by Kirk. Greg Gerwig is phenomenal in this. Also, pretty underrated. And the Gerwig character isn't all that likable. Like, she does crazy schemes in this, but you can't help but really admire the character. And Kirk is really an actress who I think should do more stuff in the future because she's terrific. I mean, she's done other stuff like she's been in Gone Girl. She was in that recent Jamie Dornan movie, Unlovable. I think what that was called. She's been in other stuff since then, but Mistress America is really terrific. Definitely go check that one out if you guys haven't seen that. Alright. Alright. So, now, alright. Now, coming in at number one, it is now my number one favorite Baumbach movie. It is The Squid and the Whale, starring Jeff Daniels, and it's about these two brothers who are living in Brooklyn who end up being caught in the middle of a divorce by their parents, played by Daniels and Laura Linney, and you got Jesse Eisenberg as the older brother here with Owen Klein who plays the younger brother. Boy, what's it with no Baumbach and divorce? Like his new movie Marriage Story, of course, tackles divorce and of course before that he did Squid and the Whale. Boy, he must love I wonder if he ever had been involved in a divorce, maybe. But that aside, Squid and the Whale it is his best film. I mean, he did other stuff before this, but it was really Squid and the Whale that really put him more on the map for most people. And a well-deserving one, too. It's really terrific. Eisenberg is great. Owen Klein, I mean, he doesn't really do a whole lot since Squid and the Whale. But Owen Klein was terrific. Really amazing film. I mean, I almost said Jeff Bridges. Jeff Daniels, I believe he got an Oscar nomination, if I'm not mistaken, for this. But I think, is probably one of his best performers. Laura Linney, I mean, she's Laura Linney. She's always great. Yeah, Squid and the Whale is a really fantastic film, and the dialogue, especially between the dad and the kids and all, is amazing. Lots of tensions throughout the film. I mean, if you guys haven't seen the Squid and the Whale yet, definitely go check it out. It's a really good film. All right, that's pretty much it. Let me do the quick rundown. 5, Greenberg. 4. The Myra Story. 3. While We're Young. 2. Mistress America. And 1. The Squid and the Whale. Now, Baumbach has done other movies over the years as well. He did that movie Francis Ha. That was pretty good. He did the film Kicking and Screaming. Not to be confused with the Will Ferrell movie, but that was like his first feature he ever did. He also did De Palma, which is a documentary about director Brian De Palma. Uh, he did that Nicole Kidman and Jennifer Jason Leigh and Jack Black movie, Margaret at the Wedding. He knows how good, like he knows how to make a do movies where he has comedic actors do like dramatic moments. I mean, he's worked with Adam Sandler, Ben Stiller, and Jack Black. I mean, is that he's done some really cool stuff, and I'm looking forward to see what his next film will be after Marriage Story. His like follow up should be interesting. Anyway, let me leave it to you guys. What are some of your favorite Noah Baumbach movies? Drop a comment below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell for more notifications. This here is Team Movies signing off.